Hi there! Thanks for tuning into our channel. My name is Wiley Allen, and I'm the founder here at Pinnacle Supplementation. Today is going to be a fun one for you. Even though it is snowing where I am right now, I put on this fun shirt because this video is going to be exciting. Why? Because we are talking about pre-workout. Now, some of you may get pumped up just by hearing the word pre-workout, and others of you may not really care. But working out is good for everyone. So I'm here to argue that a well-formulated pre-workout could actually benefit anyone. So whether you are pre-workout regular or not, here are some fun facts for you. Now to kick things off here, let's take a look at Amazon's best-selling pre-workout products, right? And we'll take a look at the top 3 selling products here, and hopefully I'll teach you a thing or two. So let's start with number 3. And it is the C4 Original Pre-Workout. And anybody that has any interest in pre-workouts know what this product is, because this is the product that revolutionized the pre-workout category. And it was first created many years ago, but it is still a top-selling product today because it has such a strong brand name, the C4 pre-workout. I mean, that is just the name in the pre-workout category. But just because it has such a strong brand name, does that actually mean that it is a good product? Well, let's take a look at it. And first we see some vitamins and minerals here, but let's get to the good stuff here. Let's see what these active ingredients are. So the first 3 on the list here: beta-alanine, creatine nitrate, and arginine alpha-ketoglutarate. So the first one there, beta-alanine, that's not a real special ingredient. You'll see beta-alanine in just about every single pre-workout product out there because that is the ingredient that is responsible for the tingly feeling that is associated with many pre-workouts that some people love and others hate. But we'll get into beta-alanine a little bit later. I want to first look at these other 2 ingredients that are a little more unique to this product here. So the first one, creatine nitrate. So what is that? Well, creatine is one of the most well-known and most popular supplements out there. And the regular form of creatine is creatine monohydrate. So creatine nitrate is simply a more water-soluble version of creatine. However, that does not mean that it is any more potent than the regular form of creatine, creatine monohydrate. All right? So just because it is more water soluble, that actually isn't that big of a deal because there are plenty of other forms of creatine that have the same ability: creatine malate, creatine citrate, or if the creatine monohydrate is simply micronized, they all have that water soluble ability. Okay, so creatine nitrate does not have any studies that support its usage over creatine monohydrate or any other form of creatine. So the fact that this product has creatine nitrate actually isn't special at all. Now let's take a look at the next ingredient, arginine alpha-ketoglutarate. And here's a study that was done on it, and it was looking at its effects on exercise performance. All right, so 35 subjects were randomly assigned to ingest 4 grams of arginine alpha-ketoglutarate 3 times a day, so 12 grams daily, or placebo. And the results were beneficial. So study 2, the significant differences were observed in the arginine alpha-ketoglutarate group compared to placebo for 1 rep max bench press and peak power, and also blood glucose and plasma arginine levels. Okay, so it can potentially improve your exercise performance. Okay, but again, 12 grams. What is in this product over here? Only 1 gram. Okay, that is not going to have those same effects at all. All right, so now let's take a look at their explosive energy blend here. And really the only thing that is going to have any kind of effect in this blend here is the caffeine. And you see it is at 150 milligrams there, but I'm going to make a bold statement here and argue that caffeine should not be included in any kind of pre-workout powder like this. And no, I'm not saying that you should not take caffeine pre-workout. There's many reasons to take caffeine pre-workout. I mean, if you need that extra energy boost before working out, caffeine can certainly do that for you. But the thing is that everybody has a different sensitivity to caffeine, and everyone has a different tolerance build up to it already. So for one person, just taking 50 milligrams of caffeine may be enough to get that energy boost that they're looking for. But for another person, it may take 350 milligrams. So having one set dosage, like 150 milligrams there, isn't customizable to person. And then on top of that, caffeine has been shown in a lot of different studies to enhance exercise performance. So people may want to take caffeine for that reason, and in particular, endurance performance. So in this study here, they are looking at caffeine ingestion before an 8-kilometer run. So 1 hour before the race, they ingested either a placebo or caffeine at 3 milligrams per kilogram body weight, or no supplement at all. And there was a significant improvement for the caffeine. So after the 8-kilometer race was performed, the caffeine showed a average improvement of over 23 seconds in the race. And anyone that runs knows that 23 seconds is a lot of time there. But again, you have to notice how the dosage is. It's not saying like 100 milligrams. It's basing it off of weight, because in general, the amount of caffeine that one needs is based off of their body weight. So a larger person is going to need more caffeine than a smaller person does. So essentially, to get these kind of effects, you have to know what your body weight is to determine how much caffeine you should be getting. And again, 150 milligrams may be the right dosage for a select few amount of people, but for the majority, that is not the correct dosage. It needs to be lower or higher for them. So I would argue that a formulator of a pre-workout should not include caffeine in the actual product, and they should include it separately in pills or powders in like 50 milligram increments. That way a person could just take 50 milligrams, or they could take 350 milligrams of caffeine with their pre-workout, or none at all, because there's also plenty of people that don't want to take any caffeine before they work out. So overall, there's nothing really all that special about this product here. Now let's look at number 2. And since the C4 original was such a successful product, they began creating a lot of different variations of C4. So now the one that is outselling the original is its ripped sport variation. So it's trying to combine a weight loss and a pre-workout powder all in one. So let's take a look at what is actually inside of here. And again, you see a bunch of vitamins and minerals, but let's get down to its ripped sport performance blend. And again, you see beta-alanine, the first ingredient on the list, like in so many pre-workouts, but we'll get to it in just a second. But let's take a look at some of the other ingredients here. So this citrulline malate, this is another very popular ingredient in pre-workouts, and for good reasons. So this study here was looking at its ability to enhance athletic anaerobic performance and relieve muscle soreness. So 8 grams of citrulline malate was used in one training session, and a placebo was used in the other. And the training session was a fatigue test. So they did 80% of their 1 rep max of a bench press. And the citrulline malate treatment led to a significant increase in the number of repetitions that the subjects were able to perform from the placebo. And it also led to a 40% decrease in muscle soreness 24 hours and 48 hours after the training session. So it decreased both muscular fatigue and muscle soreness. But again, 8 grams. And in this product here, there's less than 4 grams for this entire blend here, all of these ingredients. So there's probably less than 1 gram of citrulline malate actually in this product here, not 8 grams. Okay, so the next 2 ingredients, the CLA and the carnitine tartrate, those are its weight loss ingredients there. So CLA has been shown to be effective for weight loss in some studies, but at higher dosages. So in this study here, they were split into 4 groups. They either were exercising and taking CLA, or just taking CLA, or just exercising, or doing nothing. And the groups that were taking CLA were taking 3.6 grams per day, okay? And the conclusion was, it showed that both the groups that were taking CLA and exercising were both effective in improving body composition. And as would be expected, the groups that took CLA and exercise had the best effects overall. Okay, but again, 3.6 grams, okay? This product, again, has a little over 3.9 grams for all of these ingredients. So there's not 3.6 grams of CLA in here. There's probably less than 1 gram. So it is not going to get the job done, unfortunately. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one, carnitine tartrate. And this study here was looking at its effects on lipid or fat metabolism and VO2 max in elite wrestlers. So the study was that either they consumed 3 grams of carnitine tartrate in this water and lemon juice, or the placebo group consumed the same water and lemon juice but with no carnitine tartrate. And the results were that the carnitine tartrate group led to a significant improvement in lipid or fat metabolism and VO2 max, or distance running. So the conclusion was that the group improved the performance by increasing its lipid or fat metabolism. But again, 3 grams. Again, this product has probably less than 1 gram of carnitine tartrate in here. Okay, so it's not going to have those same effects. So it is really just underdosing all of these ingredients that could potentially be effective, but they're going to be ineffective because the dosages are just too low. And just like the other product, they have a sport energy blend with 135 milligrams of caffeine. But again, that caffeine dosage is probably not going to be the ideal amount for most people. So as with the last product, there's plenty of room for improvement with this one as well. And now let's take a look at the #1 best-selling pre-workout on Amazon. And I will say right off the bat here that I do prefer this product over the previous 2 that I showed you, because it actually has some effectively dosed ingredients in here. So the first ingredient on the list here, micronized L-citrulline. Okay, so if you remember previously, we talked about citrulline malate, and the effective dosage for citrulline malate was 8 grams. But the thing is that citrulline malate is actually L-citrulline combined with malic acid. So the 8 grams of citrulline malate is not all citrulline. There would actually be 6 or even less grams of actual citrulline in there. So the fact that this product has 6 grams of regular citrulline isn't a big deal, because it should have as much or even more citrulline in there than 8 grams of citrulline malate would. So that should be an effective dosage there. Now we can move down to the next one. We have creatine monohydrate, which is what we talked about previously, the regular form of creatine, and it's at its typical effective dosage there, 5 grams. And then we also see creatine nitrate a little below that, which, as we stated previously, is not anything special. But I would like to point out that if a product did not have creatine in it, that should not make you think less of the product. It's nice that this product does include creatine in there, but it's actually not necessary to take pre-workout. And some people don't even want to take creatine. But this study here is looking at if there were any differences between taking creatine before working out or after working out. So both groups consumed the typical effective dosage for creatine, 5 grams, either right before exercising or right after exercising. And then they were looking at both body composition and 1 rep max bench press strength. And both groups did show a significant improvement in fat-free mass and increasing bench press strength. However, supplementation with creatine post-workout is possibly more effective than taking it pre-workout. Now, the results here for body weight and strength did not show any significant differences between the groups, so it didn't actually prove that taking it after was actually better than taking it before, but it does show that taking it after is at least as effective, if not more effective, than taking it before working out. So creatine does not need to be in the pre-workout necessarily, but since it does include it here, at least it's at the effective dosage. Now let's move on to the ingredient that I've been skipping over here, the beta-alanine. And the reason that I've been skipping over it is because I was waiting for a product to have it at a higher dosage here. So it's at 3.2 grams in this product, whereas in the other products it was at 1 to 1.6 grams. And usually I'm knocking products for underdosing ingredients, but let's take a look at beta-alanine dosages. And we have the International Society of Sports Nutrition position stand for beta-alanine here. Okay, so it states that beta-alanine supplementation is safe. However, there is a side effect to it, which is called paresthesia, which is that tingly feeling that I was talking about, or it could also make some people really itchy. So this tingly or itchy feeling is obviously not ideal for a lot of people, but we can avoid this by taking multiple low dosages, so less than 1.6 grams of it throughout the day, or there's even sustained release options now. But the reason that beta-alanine is dosed higher usually is because people need to take at least 4 to 6 grams of it daily for at least 2 to 4 weeks for it to improve exercise performance. And this is particularly beneficial for explosive tasks, ones that are taking just a few minutes. But how do we get to this daily dosage while avoiding the side effect? Well, I would argue that the pre-workout should not include any more than 1.6 grams of beta-alanine in it. And then just like the caffeine, it should be sold separately as well, so that way people can customize it for themselves. Now, to be fair, some people do not mind that tingly feeling that I was talking about. I myself do not mind taking high doses of beta-alanine. So this 3.2 grams here may be all right for some, but it's going to be too high for many. So if the product were to instead include less than 1.6 grams of it and then sell it separately as well, then the people that want to take a higher dosage can just add it to it. And the people that want to take the lower dosage amount at other points in the day can do so. And again, the same thing goes for the caffeine there. You see 300 milligrams there. That is going to be too high of a dosage for a lot of people. So if it was just sold separately, then people could customize their caffeine dosage for themselves. So what does this show? There's plenty of room for improvement in the pre-workout space. But that doesn't mean a product can't be created that fixes all these problems. That is what we plan to do. Bring the Pinnacle pre-workout to the market. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope you took a lot of good stuff away from this. And just remember to go reach your pinnacle.